Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Happy Monday. I have a very quick review for you today because it's not a particularly positive one and there's not a whole lot to say. This is a candle that came out. It was a limited edition collection from Yankee Candle. I want to say sometime in the October-November-ish period of last year, 2024. It was a cafe collection. There were 4 candles in it. There was a nitro cold brew. There was this one, which is peppermint mocha. There was a pumpkin spice latte. And then there was like a vanilla chai candle of some kind. And I have now burned through all of them with the exception of Nitro Cold Brew. I returned Nitro Cold Brew because it didn't really smell like coffee at all to me. It really just smelled like a Tootsie Roll, and I was just not having it. I was absolutely not having it, so that went back. I do not want my house smelling like a Tootsie Roll, and I was low-key offended because I do love a cold brew, and this was just such a bait and switch. I was not even gonna bother. There was really not a whole lot of coffee in this cafe collection, including this one, which is Peppermint Mocha. And a Peppermint Mocha is like basically a latte, which is, so a latte is an espresso beverage with a lot of whipped milk in it. But it also has an inclusion of chocolate in it and usually peppermint syrup as well. And Starbucks has a fantastic peppermint mocha. You know who has an even better peppermint mocha is Caribou Coffee, which is kind of a Minnesota thing, I think. When I was growing up in central Ohio, there were a lot of Caribou coffees around. And I guess Caribou got overextended because then at a certain point they just closed everything with the exception of all of them in like Minnesota or Wisconsin or wherever it was. So I hope they're still there. I hope they're going to start kind of coming, I don't know. I would love to see them reemerge in various different other states. Certain things I love Starbucks for, certain things I love Caribou for. Caribou makes a fantastic mocha of any kind. They have a dark chocolate mocha, they have a milk chocolate mocha, they have like all of the mochas, and they literally melt chocolate chips into it, which is fantastic because most coffee companies, Starbucks included, just use some sort of like chocolate syrup that they mix into it. With Caribou, they actually do melt chocolate for their mochas, and man, you can tell the difference. Close parentheses on that. This was Peppermint Mocha. I actually thought of the 4 candles that Yankee gave us in this cafe collection, this was the best smelling one, and I was kind of surprised by it. I mean, it just smells like a delicious peppermint mocha. It's got all of the whipped cream. It's got a very strong like vanilla like base to it. And then it has a gorgeous soft peppermint and some chocolate in there. It wasn't overwhelmed by chocolate. I thought it was a very well balanced candle. And like I said, a really delicious candle. And it says a lot for me to say that because I don't do gourmands really, and anything that has like candy in it or marshmallow, etc., like it's a no for me as well. But there's something about a peppermint mocha and something about this candle that just made me so happy. I don't have the notes for you on this. I thought before I started to make this video, I'm like, oh, go get the notes from Yankee Candle. I don't even know that it's up on the website anymore, although I could probably find the notes online somewhere. But I don't think it makes any difference. Whatever the notes are that they gave us, and for some reason, I do feel as though they did give us strong coffee notes in this one. There's no coffee in here, really. I'm not smelling anything. There's kind of a vague roastiness, but it doesn't distinguish itself from anything that wouldn't be just chocolate, frankly. But yeah, just really true and delicious and sweet. It's definitely on the sweet side. I loved the smell of it. Unfortunately, that's the last positive thing that I can say. It performed so badly, not necessarily in terms of sooting. This is actually a pretty impressive level of sooting here. This is like, I would call this a moderate or light soot. And given how long it took me to burn this candle, I mean, hours and hours and hours and hours and weeks, sometimes burned very long. That's, like I said, a very impressive lack of sooting there. This is a soy blend. It's some soy, some paraffin. The performance that was bad was the strength and throw. I mean, this was just, it just gave me nothing. I mean, I think on a scale from 1 to 10, it probably was always coming in at about a 3, maybe a 3.5 or 4. I mean, no matter where I put it, even guest bathroom, forget it. Forget it. I mean, it just was a non-existent strength and throw. So there's that. In this collection, I was most impressed by the pumpkin spice latte, and the pumpkin spice latte actually performed relatively decently, if I remember correctly. It had a fairly good strength and throw. It wasn't gonna knock your socks off, but you could definitely smell it. It was fairly strong, and it was a gorgeous pumpkin spice candle. I really hope that one comes back because I thought it was rich, it was deep, it was really nice. It was very nice. And some of Yankee Candle's concoctions over the last few years have smelled a bit cheap, and I don't think that's a coincidence. I think they are using cheaper inputs at this point. So, but this pumpkin spice did not smell cheap. And, you know, making a pumpkin spice candle is actually easy on a certain level, but also extremely difficult to distinguish it from all the other pumpkin spice candles and to give one that you want to purchase again. I mean, it really takes a lot. And that pumpkin spice latte, I would purchase again. I would not purchase this one, and I do not recommend it to you. For its existence, I burned it alongside this one from Kringle Candle, which is Cane Cashmere. And that was a great pair up because this is a candy cane peppermint kind of fragrance, and it had actual strength and throw. And therefore, I just burned them together, and I got like a very, as I got closer to the two candles, I would get a very faint chocolate note that was the contribution here of this Yankee candle. Otherwise, the peppermint and vanilla notes just kind of married with whatever was here, and then, you know, it was really fantastic. This candle performed very, very well, and so I wanted to shout this out because Kringle has definitely been struggling in the strength and throw category for a while. This is their reformulation of Cane Cashmere in the 100% soy. So it was the first version of the 100% soy Cane Cashmere that I had burned. I burned 100% paraffin last year, I think, or the year before that. Cane Cashmere is one of my favorite fragrances, actually, at least for the holiday season, from Kringle. And I'm happy to report that this 100% soy actually outperforms the paraffin that I had like a few years ago. That said, when an 100% soy candle outperforms a paraffin, you can bank on it that there are way more scent oils in the soy than there are in the paraffin, because there's really no reason scientifically or on paper for a 100% soy candle to outperform, especially in terms of strength and throw, a paraffin candle. This candle, though, was formulated originally at a period of time where really it seemed as though the 100% paraffin was really going downhill. And by going downhill, I mean there were a larger percentage of candles for Kringle in this country paraffin line that were underperforming. And Cane Cashmere was one of them. I do conjecture in hindsight that they were sabotaging essentially their country candle 100% paraffin line so that it didn't so obviously show up their 100% soy Kringle line. It's my opinion. I think Yankee has done the same. When you have a kind of a double fleet in your store or in your catalog, one of which is 100% soy, one of which is paraffin or a paraffin blend, frankly, the soy is going to get shown up. And for a whole host of reasons, neither Kringle nor Yankee wanted their 100% soy, or actually Yankee doesn't have 100% soy, they just have a soy blend. They did not want their soy to be outshone so obviously. So they were trying to bring their paraffin kind of down in alignment with the soy performance. And so there were a whole generation of these 100% paraffins in the country candle line and Kringle over the last 2 or 3 years that underperformed for no reason. And now that we've got it in 100% soy, it's all the more obvious that it should not have been an underperformer. It just should not have. I love the fragrance so much on Cane Cashmere that I have several backups of the paraffin because I was willing to put up with it because I love the fragrance so much, but it was an underperformer. This one performs a whole lot better, but the fragrance has shifted as you would expect from a soy candle. So for me, this candle is for the most part peppermint. Peppermint candy cane, and I'm not getting a whole lot else from that. When you smell it on cold, you do get the nuance of the other elements. And I'm sorry that I don't have the scent notes here for you, but this Cane Cashmere does have a very like fresh, almost clean cashmere linen note, along with a great deal of like sandalwood and musk on the bottom that just makes this admittedly peppermint candy cane forward conceptual fragrance much more interesting than just like a straight up peppermint or a peppermint like chocolate candle or something like that. And that's what made me love this candle, because I'm kind of a sucker for candy canes and candy cane, you know, marshmallow white chocolate like candles. And then the fact that this wasn't a true gourmand, but really had those amazing like bassy body care elements. Along with like that cashmere. I just loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And I thought it was a candle that really transitioned beautifully into January. This version is peppermint forward, and unfortunately the bassier notes are just not coming through. Like I said, the strongest that they come through is when you smell it on cold, but when you burn it, they're just completely gone. It's really just kind of a nice, soft peppermint vanilla kind of candle. I'm very happy to say that it performs well in terms of strength and throw. I mean, it definitely got up. I would say this candle gets up in the back bedroom. It gets up to a strong 6.5, maybe even a 7 in the back bedroom. Now, in the open concept, a lot more of a muted experience, but I was very happy with it in the back bedroom. That said, now that it's virtually just a vanilla candy cane fragrance, I don't know that I love it in my back bedroom. In its original formulation, it had those amazing like cashmere, amber, sandalwood vibes that made it a great one for the back bedroom. The thing about soy is that it captures fragrance incompletely. So the peppermint, it captures. It can capture the peppermint, and the peppermint is up in a high enough mid-range that it can capture it fine. I've noticed that it captures gourmand notes fairly well. Any kind of base notes, though, soy has a lot of trouble with, and any sort of like fine fragrance nuances really get kind of washed out as well. So that's what happened with this fragrance. Do I love it now that it's washed out? No, I don't. Would I repurchase it again? Yeah, I probably would. I mean, I was really happy that the candle was performing at a 6.5 or a 7, which is more than can be said for the original iteration. Unfortunately, it was at the expense of a lot of really lovely nuances, but I would probably still purchase it again. And if you like Cane Cashmere, there is reason to rejoice that you can now smell it better than you could originally. When Mick Kittredge reformulated the countries into 100% soy, and there was a great deal of alarm over that, certainly from me, but I know from a lot of other people, about strength and throw, as well as other things. Mick Kittredge promised and assured us all that he was pouring like triple the amount of scent oils into all of the 100% soys. Which does beg the question, why don't you just pour double the strength into the paraffin? Like, well, if it's just as easy as that, then why didn't you just give us better strength? Like in the actual paraffin, you know? Like I said, for reasons aforementioned, I think there was a reason why the scent oils started to decrease perceptibly in that country candle paraffin line as they were kind of ramping up to a soy transition. But definitely the addition of all of those extra scent oils does make a difference in terms of strength. unfortunately does not make a difference in terms of nuance of fragrance. So I hope that that was helpful to all of you who were interested in the reformulation. I suspect, and I've actually experienced in a couple places, 100% soy formulations that just could not give any additional strength and throw over the paraffin. And there was just no improvement across the board, only deprovement in terms of fragrance capture and strength and throw. This one I can at least give a mixed review on. At least it does make up in terms of strength and power what it decreases in terms of like loveliness and complexity of fragrance. I don't really know what to do with that. I want a much louder fragrance, but I really like to see a nuanced, clear, complex fragrance, and soy just doesn't do that, unfortunately. So anyway, I am very happy for and grateful for Candy Cane Cashmere though, because it certainly outperformed the Peppermint Mocha from Yankee, and I would just not have been able to handle the Yankee if I didn't have the Candy Cane Cashmere to kind of overwhelm it. And so I did enjoy the burn of these two for January, but definitely, I mean, the Yankee candle was contributing like, I don't know, 5 or 10% to my experience. And all of it was this Kringle candle. So thank you, Kringle. I am going to link, I'm pretty sure Candy Cane Cashmere is available on the Kringle website. Obviously, it's a new reformulation. So I would imagine, and since it's kind of more of a long-standing candle for them, I would imagine it hasn't sold out. So I'm going to link Candy Cane Cashmere down below if you're interested in that. I will look for Peppermint Mocha, but I'm pretty sure that it's not on the website anymore for Yankee. And anyway, I don't recommend it. So there you go. That is the review of peppermints and candy canes that I mainly burned in January. I don't know if anybody's burning them anymore, but I really did enjoy them in January, and I think that both of them would have been great in January. Only one of them really was. So there you have it. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will have some new reviews, some Bath & Body Works, some pistachio going forward. Thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next one.